Hi guys, we're back! Yay! Due to the popularity of or Are You Really an INFP video, we thought we'd go through some other types. And one of the types I see a lot of people trying to be or think they are is ENTJ, oddly enough. So we're gonna talk about the false stereotypes surrounding ENTJs and how to know if you really are one. Okay, so with false stereotypes, one of which is, I guess, a stereotype about TE in general is that they're just really successful and good at doing stuff, and they're just gonna go out every day and accomplish a bunch of things. And anyone can accomplish things is not really solely TE, and it's not really solely extroversion. Oh, and then the stereotype that they're good at everything is not really true.
Right. And I think a lot of people also relate to the kind of leader stereotype of ENTJs, which actually I find with real ENTJs, like for the most part, I haven't really seen that like as a big fixation with them. I guess there's kind of this ENTJ caricature which you have in your head, but I've never seen a real ENTJ actually act like that. But I think people who like want to be this boss type and determined and successful and a leader and decisive just kind of latch on to that type.
Yeah, I too have not seen like an actual ENTJ who's like that. And here I wrote leader / domineering / scary / mean. I mean, any type can be mean. Even an INFP can be scary.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes. So, so mean. My boyfriend just nodded.
And it's almost like an excuse for that kind of behavior, right? Like, oh yes, this is just my innate personality, therefore I can be an ENTJ and be intentionally mean to people, right? But it's like,
yeah, I wrote that like they don't have that much of an ego in the sense of that like their sense of self might not be like super high because they have inferior FI, so it's kind of hard for the ENTJ, like the ESTJ, to have like a set identity. So the people who really identify as like, yeah, I'm this mean boss type of like individual is usually higher FI, which I find like really funny, or even like higher TI. Because they have like a stronger sense of inner identity, really.
Yeah. I think dominant TE is more reactive, but not in the sense of like emotionally reactive, just kind of like, oh, okay, based on this set of circumstances, we can do this, or based on this, we can do that. And it's not so much of like, yes, I have this plan and I'm going to force you all to like do this plan.
Yeah, like the people who take pride in their harshness and think that's TE, it's actually not. It's usually JI. It's like some sort of self-picture, self-image. And ironically, the ENTJ, ESTJs are like the worst at having a set self-image. When the TE thing does say something mean or blunt, it's not because they want to. That's obviously like FI. It's because they're so unaware of FI and FE, and they're so aware on evaluating the facts and using external evaluative criteria that they're completely unaware of FI and FE, and that's why they were harsh in that instance.
Just kind of unaware of the kind of social environment around them. I think it happens with me too. Sometimes I just say a fact and then I'm like, oh, okay, wait, maybe that wasn't phrased in the most gentle way, or maybe that kind of insinuated something I didn't intend to. But yeah, I think it's true. Like when I am the most harsh, I think it's when I'm acting on my FI. And I'm like, nope, someone crossed a boundary with me, like, rawr. I can be quite protective and kind of get aggressive about that. But I don't think TE in nature is necessarily aggressive like that.
Like TE is pretty neutral of a kind of function. Yeah, so I guess getting to the things that do make you ENTJ, your primary mode of functioning is evaluating based on external criteria. So I guess external logical criteria in this sense.
Yeah, and we should add too that this can be done in your head, right? Like you can be sitting in a room and thinking about things that are external in the sense that they are like objective, and maybe other people, you could point to some fact or some proof to like showcase why you evaluated it this way, but it doesn't necessarily mean you necessarily have to be like doing things or achieving things to be doing that.
Yeah, having a higher priority or like valuing external criteria more than, for example, your inner feelings or values can be really beneficial in some circumstances, but this doesn't mean that like all ENTJs are going to be like successful sociopaths. Okay.
And I get kind of where the stereotype comes from, because I do think like JE wants to, or maybe sees the most potential in being able to affect the external world. There is some sort of a link there, but it's like, it's not that cut and dry.
The other thing is that since they're on the NISE axis, they see the world as it is instead of as some sort of symbolic multi-possibility as someone with NE and SI would see it.
Perhaps ESTJs might mistype as ENTJ. There's definitely this difference, especially with tertiary NE and how playful they can be with tertiary NE and generating all these different ideas. And ENTJs can be more like experimental with SE and like kind of trying new things out and thinking about possible ways in which they can do things, but there isn't that same abstraction or symbolicness that the ESTJ has.
Actually, interesting you say that. Sometimes when you hear a conversation, the ESTJ sounds more like an intuitive than the ENTJ,
Right.
depending on which functions they're
Yeah.
using. Because sometimes when the ENTJ is talking, they're talking about something that's so rooted in SE reality that they sound like a sensor. Yeah, okay, going into the unexpected things about ENTJs, a lot of them can be quite laid back. We
Yeah.
said, like, TE is not such a scary function. Like, a lot of them with their tertiary SE is quite interested in just having a variety of physical experiences. Like, I knew an ENTJ at work and he just liked to relax all day long. I guess he was using his TE in a way that he figured out how to manipulate the work system so that he could do as little work as possible because it benefited him like the most. But yeah, so that's obviously contrary to the whole like get ahead, rise up kind of thing. He
Yeah.
was just comfortable with like doing as little as possible. Okay, it's actually gonna be okay because he like does not care that
He'd probably be proud of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an
exactly.
accomplishment.
Like he was giving me tips on how to do less work by like manipulating the system. So like TE can manifest in unexpected ways like that, and tertiary SE is usually quite fun-loving and chillax.
Yeah, and there can be unexpected, or I guess unexpected if you follow the stereotypes. Like a lot of ENTJs can even have more interests that you might associate with like NFPs or like SFPs.
Yeah.
Or even like FJs. Like they can be kind of like social and like to have fun with people, and they definitely don't fall into this like only all work,
Right.
no play kind of thing.
Actually, since you say the NP or SP interest, you know how you were saying like some ESTJs might mistype as ENTJ? I actually like see that so rarely. Like usually I see ESTJs mistype themselves as NPs. Actually, yeah. So I wouldn't be super surprised if an NTJ mistypes as SFP. I'm sure like I've seen some instances of that. Yeah, I guess I'll just go into like common mistypings now. The most common one I see for some reason is ESTP. For some reason, like some ESTP men I met thought they were like ENTJ or INTJ, and honestly I think that so many of the stereotypes of going out and doing things and being bold and brave and whatever is actually SE. Like SE is interacting, I was gonna say reacting with, but I think
Yeah.
so SE is like constantly interacting with the external world as it is, so it can be quick to like act and react. So I think they might really identify with the whole like ENTJ going out and doing stuff stereotype. And then being thinkers, I guess they might test as like thinking as they are, but they might mistake their TI as being TE. And I've also noticed like a lot of ESFP people like kind of fitting more into the ENTJ stereotype, especially like for men. Like a lot of people with tertiary TE is like really trying to flex their TE muscles and trying to appear like all the TE stereotypes and being like harsh and be like, okay, I'm not noticing any emotions, I'm just noticing like the cold hard facts. But the people who really like take pride in that is actually like the higher FI users. So I would say like ESTPs and ESFPs could identify as ENTJ.
Yeah. I knew an ESFP who, when it came to like work-related stuff, he was so just kind of like, well, this is the nature of the world. You just have to climb the ladder to the top and do your hard work and blah, blah, blah. And it so kind of seems like a stereotypical ENTJ or NTJ attitude. And actual NTJs are like, yeah, more relaxed and more
relaxed, Alex.
more like into their like little baby FI interests.
Yeah.
And, like,
Okay, so the next one I see is very oddly enough SFJ men. Once again, it's like men. I think there's something about the ENTJ stereotype that's kind of associated with cultural masculinity.
Yeah.
And I think with perhaps higher SI users, they might be interested in playing out their gender role or something.
Yeah, I think the whole masculinity and work culture thing is, I think we kind of touched on that with INTJs, but I think it probably especially plays with like ENTJs as well, and that probably leads to a lot of mistyping. So yeah, guys, so let us know what you think. Any ENTJs out there? I'm curious what you guys think, and if you relate to all of these like heavy TE dominant stereotypes, because I think we've noticed that a lot of like actual ENTJs and ESTJs don't really see themselves as like this decisive leader who like directs everyone and that kind of stuff. So, and yeah, let us know if you maybe know other people who might think they are like this, or any patterns you guys have observed.
Yeah, and let us know which type we should do next.
If you guys want to be typed, we offer typing services on objective measures at cognitiveaid.com. And we also have a Patreon page where we offer exclusive perks to you guys. So feel free to check that out as well in the description box below. And we'll see you next time. Bye!